this video, share this with anyone who needs a different perspective on the losses of people specifically in their life, whether that is death, whether that's just a physical, an emotional loss of a family member, of a loved one, a romantic loved one, a best friend, whatever that might be. This is just in regards to loss. And when the Lord showed me this picture in my head, it changed everything a few years back. So go with me on this. You are a tree, all right? Yeah, things are getting weird, but you're a tree. And on your tree, underneath the surface are the roots. And those are, I want you to think of every part of your tree as people in your life, all right? So roots, number one root is the Lord. Hopefully, if you don't know him, I pray that you come to know him, because he will change everything about you. But God is the number one root, the source of your sustenance. The roots are the people in your life who will never leave. Never, forever, never, amen. By the time you're dead, on your gravestone, they're going to be right there with you, because they stayed with you the entire time. These might be family members, maybe your parents, friends, sisters, best friends since second grade, husband, wife, whoever that might be. Those are your ride or die people, never ever leaving. You don't have many of those. All right. Follow me on this. I love you. Some of this is going to be tough love, but you don't have many roots. None of us do. But as you go up the tree, you're going to have big old branches that come off to the side. Those are the people who are in your life for multiple seasons. I'm talking season after season after season, years, maybe tens of years. And they're in your life, and they've changed you, and they've given you support and been there with you through the best and the worst of times. But eventually, even the biggest and most incredible of branches on a tree, if a big enough storm comes, can be knocked off. So these are for the people who maybe, and you all have some in your life right now who are your branches, but at the end of your life, what you don't know is that you may think they're roots, but God knows that they're branches. God knows they'll only be there for a few more seasons, or however many seasons, and then eventually they're going to fall off. A big enough storm can take them out. But they gave you so much life and so much incredible beauty, added so much color, so much experience and knowledge and just love along the way. And no matter how it ended, what I pray is, as you hear these things, that no matter the death of those people and those relationships in your life, that you're able to see them not for the way they died and dissolved, which a lot of times can be ugly, especially if they're really close to you. Not how they died, but how they lived. What parts of your life they changed just by being in it. And then there are the leaves on the trees, and those are beautiful. And those people are beautiful, vibrant people who come in and their personalities just click with yours, and they change you, and you have incredible moments and conversations, but they are the shortest lived of all the things on your tree. And the leaves are, they literally are only there for one season. Maybe that's a week, maybe a day, maybe a couple years, maybe it is very short lived, and they bring color to you and they change your life, but they die off after that season. And sometimes it can be super painful, but the problem isn't in the fact they're dying off, or that they rejected you, or maybe you rejected them, or that relationship ended. It's the way that you think that leaf and your expectations for every human in your life, every person that brings you joy or that's your friend in your life, your expectation for that person to be a root is unrealistic. No, you can't have a million roots. You just can't. We can't tolerate a million roots, or we'd be so watered down and diluted, we never get sustenance, true sustenance and nutrients to us. You can only have a few roots. But when you put a root expectation on branch or leaf people, it leaves you feeling so empty and so betrayed and so alone at the end of the day. So I'm praying that this can change your perspective, that instead of seeing those people for the death and how they died, that you can see them for the life that they brought to you. That instead of seeing them and holding this bitterness and unforgiveness and resentment for how they left you or how they rejected you, or that you would instead have the maturity and spiritual awareness to be able to see how they changed you for the season of life that they were there. The ways that they showed you how to love, taught you things that you don't want, taught you things that you do, showed you how to be a better person, brought you closer to the Lord, whatever that might be. You fill in the blank. No matter how it ended, I pray you're able to see it for the beauty it was. And I pray you're able to recognize that not everybody in your life has the capacity, nor has God designed them to be a root. So I just ask for just a depth of understanding, that God would reveal to you the people that are your roots. He would reveal to you no matter how hurtful it was when especially those branches, when those branches fell off, no matter how badly that hurt, that you're able to recognize that God didn't intend for that person to be a root. as much as you wanted it to be, as much as you needed them to be. He knows what's best for you, and he won't leave you without. So last thing is the moss. The moss, those are the people you sure as heck fire know shouldn't be there. You know they don't need to be there. They suck the life out of you. They lead you down paths you don't want. They lead you to do things that you don't want to do, that things that aren't in your character. They consume and take and take and take and never give. That's your choice to let that moss stay on your tree. But I'll tell you this, if you don't clean off and you don't prune that moss off your tree, those people that you know shouldn't be there, no matter how attached you are or how close you feel, you don't clean that moss off there, that moss will continue to snowball and snowball and snowball and grow and grow and grow. And eventually an entire tree, no matter how great and big and strong and how much life and future God's planned for it, if you don't take the steps to remove those people and that toxic waste off of your tree, moss will continue to snowball until it destroys you, until that tree dies. So don't allow the mossy people in your life to consume you and to take your purpose. Get them out and recognize that the people who have left you didn't leave you because you weren't worth it. They left because they weren't roots. They weren't meant to be in that select few that lasted forever. I love you guys. Share this with anybody who needs peace and a new perspective on how to see friendships and relationships and the loss of those things in their life. You weren't meant to have a million roots. You're meant to have a few roots, a few branches, and a lot of leaves. And they all bring different beauty and different perspectives. So I love you guys. I pray for healing for the damage that has been done by the loss of those people in your life. And I pray for just a maturity and an understanding for you to recognize that there's a beauty even in the short-lived people in our lives. I love you guys.